Hello. My name is Barbara Zaik, and I'm calling you from Employee Burning Stars podcast. We have a special guest today, Rasmitsna. Hello. He is going to introduce himself in a minute, but we have today very specific topic. I would say very important and specific, but you probably I'll be very interested into that. So today we've got social media, and this is one of the basic activations when you're thinking about selling your product, which is EVP throughout the processes, like and trying to reach your target audience. So I'm really happy to have you. Good morning. This is Monday, so
Yeah.
this is very a good start of the week. So please, Rats, introduce yourself and tell us why you're bringing the social media topic today to our community.
So first, hello, Barbara, and thank you for inviting me
Sure.
to share the knowledge that I have. Most of the time, I enjoy receiving also the knowledge from you and your team. And my name is Raz Mitzna. I'm from Israel. I have an employer brand agency that I opened 10 years ago. We work with many local and global tech and non-tech brands. And the reason I chose to focus on social media, I think that today it's a must, and many companies are not using it the right way and are not leveraging their opportunity to build their brand, not only externally, but also internally, because many employees look at a company and say and want to celebrate and live what the company does on social media. So, as you asked, I've prepared a really, five great tips, trends, best practices on how to live and celebrate your employer brand on social media. And if it's okay, I'll start sharing the
Right.
presentation
It's
and we'll
like
go
the
on.
last. Thank you very much for mentioning the five things formula, because this is very important for us. We want to have like a kind of 5 stars employee branding format, and we want to bring experts worldwide and let them to share they best of the best things they like, things they admire, find valuable, and bring it to our podcast. So yeah, thank you very much. This is going to be like 5 best social media examples, trends from Ratsmitsna, expert of the social media field. So yes, please share what you have.
Okay, so thank you. And so, as I said, how to live and celebrate, I'll just say that my background comes from both HR and marketing, and that's what I help companies to market their HR for employees and for candidates, and that's what we do. I have a small team that comes from marketing, organizational development, research, and advertising. Okay, so after that, if you want, of course, you can visit and see. But let's be focused on
Right.
what I want to speak today about living and celebrating. What do I mean when I say living and celebrating? It means first bring the actual things, show and tell about the company on social media. Of course, I will have examples soon, so don't worry, okay? And on the other side, celebrate, right? Honor, mark, praise, show the life that you have, but in a more relaxed, funny, and inspiring way. And I will show that companies that are strong on employer branding on social media are able to do these both things. And let me show you 5 best practices on how they achieve this. So here are the 5 things. So, first, leaders lead. Beyond all else, it's a cultural thing. Many times I come as a consultant, Barbara, you probably know that as well, to a company, and they want to be more out there on social media. So, the first thing I check, are leaders there? And if they're not, I know it's not only because the company doesn't have the right operation, it's a mindset. And employees many times don't feel comfortable to be out there, because when a company is not on social media, it's not like, okay, let's press a button and it goes. It's a cultural thing. And you can see it also the biggest leaders in the business market are out there, and it's for a reason, because people are more interested to see the leaders than the company name. So you see Mark Benehu from Salesforce, and of course Satya Nadella, that is not only sharing content, he's sharing his employees' content, so it makes them feel stronger. Now, if we want our employees to share and be proud of what the company does on social media, leaders must be out there. Now, don't get the wrong idea that you have to be such a big CEO like these two managers, right? Also Florence from Zalando, which I'm not aware of, right? I don't know her, but you can see that also from these companies, leaders that share their managers' content, they actually send a beacon into the organization. This is something we encourage you to do, and you will see it happens more. Okay. I brought another example. This is a CEO of an Israeli global tech company called AppsFlyer. And it is also a good idea to bring it on a TikTok style, right? This is so if they do a TikTok, and I will talk a little bit later about more this kind of content. But my point here is also the big CEO taking part in this kind of fun, silly, short video things in our office that just make sense, and they have all these kind of scenes. And he's the CEO, so employees see that and they feel more comfortable to participate in this kind of activities. Okay, so this is the
Yeah,
first
I have a
point. Barbara,
question. Is
please.
it hard to make CEO to share anything in social media, and how to tackle this challenge?
So first, it's hard if they're not there to move from zero to
Mhm.
one. It's hard, but the way to do it is first show what other companies are doing. Show them what other leaders are doing. Second, it doesn't have to be the CEO. If you have 10, 15 mid-management managers that are doing it, it is also quite okay. And another thing that I've seen happening is a thought leadership workshop or a thought leadership writer that CEOs, they don't have much time, get help in creating
Right.
the content by someone that is interviewing them and is publishing after they approved the text. So it's hard, but it's very important. And if managers will not dive in, I would say that all those thought leadership ambassador programs will
Right.
tackle a hard time.
Thank you very much. So, what you mean is, what you're saying is like CEOs or exec people are the role models for our employees and making them engaging more, because my CEO is, sharing anything, anything on social media. It's much easier to me to share something from my experience with employer brand, right? There's probably first of the thought and challenge when you want your employees to share something on a social media. So first challenge probably is like, okay, so our CEO is not there, and that can be hard, that can be hard to overcome, I believe. So yes, that's true. That's important, and that's really sweet examples. I never thought about. Okay, so CEO should share something about the work, employees, culture, etc. But resharing actual profiles, that's something new for me. So thank you very much.
Resharing is the new pat on
Yeah,
the back,
yeah,
right? It
yeah,
gives you confidence and you're
yeah,
very happy
yeah.
because if the big CEO, yeah, even if he does like or comment, it's these small things that employees notice, they
Yeah.
cost nothing
And it's much
and they make
easier for
impact.
you. Don't have to put your own content. You're just resharing and saying that's fantastic. That thank you for that, etc. So yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Okay?
Thank you very much.
Exactly.
Let's see the second
Okay?
thing.
So this is the creator's age. Let creators create authentic in-house storytelling. It must look real. And I have here some examples. These are from two Israeli tech companies. One is JFrog, which is Israeli global, and look at the images. You can see it's like real life, right? It's not very orchestrated. It doesn't have this amazing scenery. The desk is not tidy and clean. It makes people believe. Okay, and that's what the TikTok style Instagram reels bring to life. I must to say that I see these movies also entering LinkedIn, because TikTok is not only a media, it's a way of creating movies. I want to grab your attention on the second example of Scream, that also Ayelet, that I put her picture here, she's also an internal storyteller. This is also something that I see that more companies do. They take someone and they hire him maybe for a part job, and he is the internal storyteller that walks with the mic and interviews and create the movies and the trends, because it's very hard to do it if it's not something that it is in your job role or even in your passion or in your knowledge. On the other hand, you cannot rely on outside advertising companies that will feel how you operate, who will walk in the corridors. And this is something that I think that will be stronger in the future. Internal storytellers that tell their stories. Another thing I want to show you, it's not only in the very slickiest high-tech companies. Boston Consulting Group, they have a TikTok channel, and you first, I advise you go in and check it out. But then again, you can see that the movies themselves are very authentic, very real, and they're appealing to those young advisors that are looking for their career. Okay. One more thing I want to share about that is that, like in this case, in Salesforce Israel, they've hired Michal, which before her role as a social media and creative content manager, she was a radio broadcaster. This signals us that companies are looking also at people that work in media to bring them inside, because they bring the knowledge of how to create content. And this is the next level of executing content, because we all know that if we operate in social media, it's very hard to work with an agency that doesn't live, breathe, or even have the company email, because they cannot approach other people. So this is what I mean. The creators create, make it look real, and think how you can create people from the inside that will lead it.
One question, again, it's like this is, yeah, I've seen maybe not a lot of organizations, but organizations are really starting to understand that you cannot sell inside culture with outside people. So they're trying to produce the content, and that's mainly the ambassadors program for. But maybe not, let's stay with that. But what you're saying is very interesting, like hiring the internal communicators. It's I think it's a cool idea and really smart one. But what question from operational level is like, um maybe you've seen that, or you've heard about that, or you already have knowledge. So do organizations are paying extra for that, or it's rather internal motivation? Because this is a maybe not hard job, but it's extra hours per week probably. And so how to motivate these guys? Should we hire them like half time, or give them extra hours? How can you advise us?
So yeah, sure. So the model that I see, it's not taking an employee that is good on
Right.
social and he has a lot of no. That was 5 years ago, because today it's not enough. You need someone that knows how to do it, that see the trends. And so my suggestion, or the thing that I'm seeing, is taking someone at half a position, and making him, that's the work, that's what he does, or that is what she does, and not relying on employees like ambassadors and giving them this kind of small incentives. No, it's an internal storyteller that creates one, two, three, four videos a week maybe. This is another thing I want to add if we're talking about it. The ability of a company to create low budget videos,
Yeah.
it's a game changer, because if you have every video you want to create, you have to pay 10, 20, 50,000 euros. You will not be tell your stories in video. These videos give you another option, but you need someone, Barbara, that knows the trade and can bring it. Of course, it works mostly for bigger companies that have this kind of budget and need. Okay, but we will see it more broadly applied as video becomes the main piece of content that creates attention and
Yeah.
brings ROI.
Thank you for that. And still, there are still organizations who are hesitating about the quality of the video, like handmade video, employee-made video. So for those who are looking, advice on that, it's okay to have low quality video made by your people. Low quality is like these days we've got smartphones being really, really of a good quality and doing great videos. So it's not like quality of the picture we see, but the scenario behind, storyboarding, etc. All this preparation, it's taking time and budget. So low, like employee made videos should be, and that's the, I would say, must for employer branding these days. It's like there is no other options. We use video every day. We use Reels, TikTok every day, not only at work, mostly not at work, but let's why and people in terms of candidates outside the organization, they want to see the real people, real stories. So the less professional and storyboarded video is, this is more trust behind between candidate and the brand itself. So I would say for those who are hesitating, or the I don't know, like internal communication is saying, oh, we cannot do this, or we have to be professional. I was like, this is really a must in employer branding. In product, in sales, in marketing, it can be maybe different, but in employer branding, showing the real people, showing the real behind the scenes and behind the work stories are really, really powerful and must. One question is like, I've seen the profile connected, like there is a person in the middle. As there is a person as affiliated or hired by the employer. What if this, what if this person, let's assume, I assume she's real. What if this person is just, rotated? Yeah, yeah.
Goes to
So
another company,
all
right?
the video
That's
is
always
lost.
before.
So
So sure. So, best practice is do it from the company's
mhm,
profile as we know it, from the company's page. Now and then, companies have, any other concerns which make them take other decisions. But you're right on that the best practice is to do it on a company's page, like JFrog, like BCG.
right.
That's the
So
best
there
operation.
still might be like a main character or leader of this of these videos, but it's better to upload them under these companies.
Yeah, sure. It's like a presenter, but it's like an internal influencer if we're thinking about marketing, right? So employees are more comfortable. They know that he will approach. They know the kind of vibe, right? It makes everything a little bit easier. And everything, when you want to create a video, it's a good idea. But at the end, someone has to take the mic, to put the camera, and to do it naturally. And not everyone can do that. So this is why this is a good solution. It's not a must, but I totally agree with the kind of reality you want to create. And if you have the need for a more professional video, go for it, right? It doesn't replace, but it adds on another level of communication with a different tone and style.
Great. Let's go to the third one.
Okay. So the third point is choose or lose. Narrow the angle that you approach the crowd. If you are creating content that is good for everybody, no one will care. So you can think about this when you build all your content plan, or you can think about it. Every post should be targeting different people. Okay, only by that you can grab attention, because when people scroll their smartphones, they need something to stop them. And if it's too general, you will not stop. Everyone can use, take a self experiment, scroll and see what stops you, and understand why. Do it 3 times and you will see that it's something that is more targeted to you. This is why I show these examples. By the way, Barbara, I don't know if you know, I got them from your weekly newsletter, which is very nice for me to get every Friday and learn new things. So thank you
Great.
for
Happy
that.
to see that. Thank you.
So you can see here PepsiCo. She's PepsiCo. So I know who they target, right? And a space to be you. And there's a lot of stories of different kind of women leaders that are working in PepsiCo and all different kind of position. Below that, higher Europe is approaching family people, right? This is what the story they want to tell, and I can feel it from the image, right? Here I brought an example from Israel, developed for a company in Tel Aviv next to the Sea of Galilee, which I don't know if you know it, but it's like 2 hours apart. So they're actually narrowing the angle for people who want to work at a top-notch company, but to do it at home in the nature. And this is how you grab attention. Now, if I'm someone who lives in Tel Aviv and I don't care, it will not stop me, and that's okay. Many times I see HR managers, employee manager, they're afraid that they will lose audience because not everyone is interested in this kind of interest. But as I said, if you do it too wide, you will lose
Right.
everyone.
So one question is like, let's say you've got three main target groups, and you've got one LinkedIn profile, right? So if you want to target the message, how do you do that? It's like, um, yeah,
Sure. So first, you can sponsor the content in advance and try to use the LinkedIn performance and advertising system in order to target the specific
hmm,
audience you want to find. In the example to the right, it's where people live, right, and their experience. But more than that, I want to encourage you not to be afraid to post on your LinkedIn page 3 posts that each one has an angle for a different audience. That's okay. Here's a new scoop for all you listeners and viewers. No one is reading all your posts in LinkedIn. No one goes into a company, oh, let's read all the posts, maybe except someone that is applying right now, okay? But so how it works? It works that if you make a post and people engage, it strengthens its engagement. In order to something to be engaged, you must be appealing to a certain amount of people that feel that it resonates with them. And this is why that's okay by me. If you one post is more for techies, one post is more for women leaders, and one post is more for people that want to work in a company that is very green. Okay, don't worry,
okay.
that's
Thank you
okay.
very much.
Okay. So I think we have two more. This is the fourth point, in the spotlight. Okay, so employees are your stars at employer brand. I will say always, but I'm a consultant, so I will say almost always. Okay, just to be sure that I'm correct. It's interesting, Barbara, when I come into a company to conduct interviews and roundtables and understand the company stories and the employee value proposition, I look at the walls. And if I see no employees nowhere, I understand something. I understand that employees here are not put, the pedestal, and they should be. So, first, make them look good. These are all examples from a photo shoots that we've conducted with different kind of companies and employees. And sometimes when I come to a company, the HR tells me, Ross, but everyone is photo shooting their employees. I say, well, they do it because it works. Because people want to see themselves, people want to like, comment, share. You can attract family and friends by that. and it makes it more human and more relatable. And don't be afraid that they will not want to come. If you have a photo shoot day, people are excited. You can also give them LinkedIn pictures and etc. And that works very well. So I think I'm connecting it also to what we've said before, that not everything needs to be super professional, but some things are, okay? Because if you want to have like a recruiting campaign, if you want to have a very nice career page, it cannot look not as professional, okay? So you have to think about the media. Some medias requires you to look like a very good. Another thing is take care of your employees and managers' LinkedIn profile. I've just recently engaged a really nice project with Ernst and Young, and they're helping the partners to have a very, very good looking profile and create a content plan for each partner so it will bring up their presence. By the way, it's not only employer brand wise, it's also business wise because they have to bring business and look good for others. So make your employees look good, use them in your content, and also help them create a very good profiles, especially at
So
LinkedIn.
what you're saying basically, sorry, is like because this is a great, can be great trigger looking from the psychological part of why, let's say I'm an employee, and why I would even think about sharing anything on social media. This is something what we sometimes have to work with our clients, like telling them it's not like making people, telling people you have to do that. Is like engaging them, and the question is like how to engage anybody to share anything on social media about work. Yeah. And what you're saying is to give them something special, give them something, like it's like a kind of trading off. uh, I will give you something. You're going to have a nice photo shoot. You can share. You can post on your social media to. We make makeup event, etc. So you get it's like a small thing, but it can be a way to engage people. And the same with professional LinkedIn profile. Yeah, it's like making them, they getting something, and then after that they can share and give employers something. So yeah, that's cool from like finding the motivation
Exactly.
in
It
yeah.
creates a great incentive. I must say it's not very hard. I mean, I was born in the mid 70s, but most of your employees that are younger, it's very natural for them to have pictures and to share them, right? So you just have to make the engage them on how does it
Right,
happen in the workplace.
thank you. And the last one.
Okay, the last point, RTM, real time marketing, is a mindset. And how do you capture current affairs, current things that are happening, and addressing them with your employer brand content? Now, this is something that you can only do when you're advanced at creating content and you have the social page. And then something comes up and you say, hey, I can tell this story regarding my company, and I want to show you some examples so people will understand what I'm talking about, right? So I guess most of Barbara, are you aware of this Netflix series Emily in Paris, right? So most of us are aware of that, right? I will not say my opinion on it, but it's really got people talking about it. Now, when people are talking about something, it's on the top of their mind. So when you relate to that, people faster can connect to your content. So I was working with this insurance company, and they have a really nice social media agency that developed and worked on their page. And they say, wait, Emily in Paris, let's create a Facebook photo shoot. Emily in Migdal. Migdal is the name of the insurance company, and I will read what it says in Hebrew. It's a story about a young employee that comes to a leading insurance company. She learns about the insurance in the company academy. She enjoys really nice food and very nice company events. And most important, she falls in love with insurance. Now, it's in humor, it's self humor, and for the young people, it works very, very good. Here is a photo of the screenshot of the post itself. You can see a lot of engagement, right? All of it is organic, and it's funny, and it's nice, and it creates
Cool.
attention. Okay, so this is a
One
very
question,
nice
one question is
example.
like, what about the copyrights? Have you been thinking about that? It's like, can you use it?
So insurance company,
Right.
they manage risks, right? So right. So I think that you have to, it's the only thing is Emily
Yeah.
in Migdal. I mean, there's not really, you don't use the soundtrack, you don't use the images. You have to really, keep yourself in that. But other than that, it's like an homage.
It's almost
There's
like
no
using
nothing to it.
archetype or hero. People know the framework, people know the theme, and you're just using the imagination and this knowledge that has been built by the by the film itself. Right? Yeah, that's wicked. I like it.
That's very sweet. Now, companies, hey, we want also like this when they don't have any social media presence. So I tell them, listen, first you go 1 year, you do, the mandatory things. Afterwards, you will be able to create this kind of content because you have to move fast, you must have courage, and you have
Yeah.
to be creative. Okay. I want to show another example, and
Yep.
after that, we'll wrap it up. So the Oscars were not a long time ago. So this company, Apps Flyer, they created a very tiny, kind of silly, fun movie, right? Best soundtrack in the office. So who are the nominees? I don't remember her name, but she was nominated for hitting the keyboard fiercely, making noise. Okay, and this marketing dude, Danny, for eating crispy food, and afterwards they award. So it's not a mind-blowing employer brand content, and people will not stand in line to work in the company. But it's
Yep.
fun, it's relevant, employees will enjoy it. Moving on next, and this is really emphasize your ability to be creative but create low budget short movies.
Cool.
It's really,
Like
really
it.
nice. Okay. So I will skip that example. So we'll stay in time. So I was talking about leaders lead, creators create, choose or lose, narrow your audience, put employees in the spotlight, and RTM is a mindset that helps you as best practice create attention. Okay. Barbara, should I move to the
Yes,
closing
please. Yes, we
remarks?
yeah, we're in time too.
Okay. So, three more things to chew on, to think on when you want to live and celebrate your employer brand on social media. The first, set the expectations. Okay. Budget is very, very important, and you have to understand your budget and what can you do by yourself, what you could do with agency. Reality today is that at Facebook and Instagram, it's very hard to get attention without sponsored ads and sponsored content. So no ad. Keep it real, right? Don't oversell, don't overpromise, don't show only the nice life. Show things also as they are because people understand and people are knowledgeable about how things look at the workplace and keep on going. I think this is maybe the most important one, and you have to understand that social media hasn't waited for you to start to do it. It's happening, and when you start doing it, your level of execution is maybe 1 or 2 out of 10. And the more you use it, the more you do it, you'll get better and better and better. And that's okay. Don't be afraid of it because you have to be there. Barbara, that was the points I've prepared. Here is a little QR code if you want to scan the screen so you can see all my
Thank you
links.
very much. It
And
was
thank you.
so great. I love the examples and I love your expertise. Thank you very much for bringing it to our community. My last question is like, what holds the future? It's like, have you have any opinion on that? Like, where we going with social media these days? What to be expected this year, but next year is like we've got ChatGPT, large language models like going on already changing the landscape of marketing. So how do you how do you find that the future?
So I think that in the near future, we'll see more and more companies that have these we call the internal
Right.
storytellers, the internal influencers, the internal creators. It's something that is really happening only, very, very little now, and it will happen much more. So that's one thing that I cannot see how it's not
Yeah.
developing very fast. And the other thing is the smart use, of course, of AI, not only for the research, but also for creating content. I must say that it's still not there. So you cannot tell AI video creators create videos and they're very appealing on Instagram and TikTok. There's a big question: will it be there? Because it's otherwise everyone will do it. But I really encourage you, and that is something I do, to use AI as your research friend when you create content plans, when you create strategy. It shortens the time that you have to work on missions 10 times. So I think these two things eventually will merge, and company that will be able to create creative content, faster paced, lower budget, will be able to storytell themselves
Great.
internally and externally.
Wow, I can't wait. And thank you very much for these tips. It was Rasmitsna, and hopefully to see you somewhere, within our community. Employee Branding Stars coming soon. So, like, festival. And thank you very much for that. And see you somewhere. Yeah.
Thank you for the
Bye.
opportunity. See you. Bye.